Hey, how you guys doing? Nabil here from Auto Repair Champs. I've got 2006 Subaru Foresters X, and today we're going to show you how you drain and refill transmission fluid into the transmission. Now on this video we're going to show you how you drain the transmission fluid from this plug, how you change this filter right here, and how you refill your transmission. So this is not a complete flush of the transmission fluid. This is just simply a drain and refill. At the end of the video, I'll tell you how many quarts we used. The reason why I'm not able to tell you right now is because in normal situations, you actually just drain the transmission and use the exact same amount of oil that came out to put into the transmission. But in this case, because the transmission fluid is low, we don't know, we don't want to go by what's being taken out. We're just gonna have to drain this. I'm gonna put about 5 quarts of transmission fluid in there, 1 gallon, and then I'm gonna check my dipstick for the transmission and see how we are doing on the level. So this is the transmission that we're gonna be using, transmission fluid, and this is the filter that we picked up from AutoZone. That's the part number, and it's just a transmission filter, and I think it comes in another box. Open this up, and very well packaged. You know, it's got a let's get this ready. And that's and there you go. Okay, so let's get it started. Let's look at this drain plug. This looks like it's let's try 17 on this one. And again, this is 17. Yep, perfect. There you go. Let's get our drain catcher here. By the way, guys, we did warm up the vehicle for about 10-15 minutes before we started this whole process. The reason why we warmed up the vehicle is because it makes that drain comes in a little quicker, and it tries to get a lot of stuff out of the transmission oil pan. It just makes it little, you know, liquidy, more liquidy than so it's not too thick. It just becomes hotter, and it's easier for it to drain. So we already drained this transmission fluid here, and there you go. Wow, unbelievable. Not much in there. Look at that. And it looks really, really dirty. Oh my God. See what this looks like? Yeah, that is pretty bad. I'm gonna actually put this on a white cloth or a white piece of paper. Let's say this piece of paper here. See what this looks like? It's all burnt. And this here, this is supposed to be red, and I'll show you what the new one looks like. So not much fluid came out, and that was one of the reasons that we are doing the flush, because it was low on transmission fluid. So yeah, not much of oil came out here. That's shocking. Well, it's not really shocking. We see this all the time, but I mean, it's that's not good. Anyway, so while this is draining, I'm gonna start removing this oil filter. Not the oil filter, sorry, the transmission filter. And let's get this. Wow. Actually, looks like just an engine oil, because this, how much it was burnt. So we're gonna let this sit for a little bit for it to drain. And I'm gonna get a piece of cloth, and let's see if we can clean some of this just around the housing and filter. We are gonna get our new filter in. And what I do with any new filters that are spin on, I take a little bit of oil and I just go around that gasket, just like that. Just enough so when you are spinning this, it's lubricated. And all right, I'm gonna wipe my hands a little bit so I can spin this on. Still a little bit of oil coming out. I'm gonna give it a couple more minutes here, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm back. I put my new filter in here, and I'm gonna go ahead and tight this with my hands. This is good. And I am going to go ahead and put my drain plug back in. So here's my drain plug. All right, we should be good here. Now remember guys, I'm gonna tell you how many quarts we've used at the end of this video on the drain and refill. I'm not able to tell right now. I know you can read some car repair data, and I believe for this vehicle, for an overhaul of a transmission, it's 9.3 to 9.6 quarts. But I'm gonna go with my inspection here on how many quarts after we're done. So keep watching this video to find out how many quarts I've used for a drain and refill on this 2006 Subaru Foresters. So start my drain plug. All right, this is good. Don't go too hard, and when you put in too much torque on these bolts, you just want to make sure that it's snug snug enough, and that's all you need. Now we're actually going to spray this area with brake cleaner, but we're not gonna do it right now. Let's just put some oil in, transmission fluid in, and we'll go from there. All right. Car is coming down. Are you guys enjoying watching this while it's coming down? Yeah. Almost there. I'm just gonna show you how we can put some more fluid in. All right. So where do you put the fluid in? You put the fluid on, looking at the engine bay from the front like that. If you keep going, let me get my flashlight so I can show you exactly where we are putting the new fluid in. Where's my flashlight? I got a few of them and I can't find any. All right, let's use this. So that's it right there. You see that yellow? Right there. So this is it. This is the transmission dipstick. Gonna use a funnel, long funnel just like that. I use those for transmissions. Fluid, flushes, and drain, refill. And actually, let's see here. Wow. This is actually two. So I found out that my transmission funnel doesn't fit into that little hole, that tube hole. So I'm gonna try this smaller one here and see what happens. Yeah, this went in. So I'm gonna use that, and I'm gonna start pouring the transmission fluid. Initial refill, I'm gonna start with this 1 gallon. I'm gonna pour the whole thing in, and I'm gonna check my level, and we'll see how much more we're gonna add. So sorry, I spilled a little bit, but actually I got the camera on my one hand and then the other camera on the other hand. Anyways, I'm gonna pause this. I'm gonna put this whole gallon in, and we're gonna start the car and check the fluid and see how much we need to add. Be right back. So I put this whole thing in. Okay, I'm gonna start the car and let it warm up for another 15 minutes, 10-15 minutes, and we'll check that dipstick and go from there. Okay, so car has been running for about 14 minutes. We did remove that dipstick right here. We did clean it with a rag just to make sure that we start from so it's clean, as you guys can see. Let me just go ahead and try to focus. It's clean. All right, we're gonna go ahead and put this dipstick inside that same hole right here, and we're gonna go ahead and measure this again while the car is running.
We don't need the flashlight. You guys get the idea. I'm gonna go ahead and put this in. All right, it's there. 1, 2, 3. Normally I just count to 3 and then I pull it out. And then let's measure it. Oh, I think we're just spot on. You see that second dot? It's actually a little over it. Right there. And actually that's pretty darn good. And from the back, see those 2 dots are covered. Now with this transmission fluid, I gotta tell you something that I just noticed, and I gotta mention that on this video. I was looking at the first 2 dots, and I realized there is another 2 dots here. This is cold and this is hot. So we're not a spot on. We're actually on the low side. This is low, this is full, this is low, this is full, but this says hot. So low, cold, low hot, full hot. We're just gonna add, I would say, half to a quart, to 1 quart. We're gonna start with half and we're gonna measure things again and we'll be right back. Okay, so we added a little bit less than 6 quart total. So the additional quart that we added, it was a little bit less than a full quart that we put in. I would say about 800, 900. A little bit less than a quart we added. Let's measure it now and see what happens. So put the dipstick in. So it looks like the oil is right there where my fingertip is. And that is on the max of hot side. And that is, sorry for not focusing, but that's pretty good. If you want to do this a little more accurate, I would put in 5 quarts and then start adding slowly and keep measuring. It may take you a little longer, but then you'll know that you don't exceed that top full dot when hot. Too much transmission fluid could damage your transmission as well. So low or too much fluid into your transmission does pretty much the same kind of damage. Anyways, thanks for watching. That's how you drain and refill. This is not a complete flush of your transmission fluid. This is just on how to drain and refill your transmission fluid in a 2006 Subaru Frosters. And this is actually Forster's X model. And thanks for watching, and we'll see you with another one. Thanks.